I really think the question is, why would the voters think I'm the best qualified? I believe I have the qualifications as a parent of a current KISD student, parent of three KISD graduates, the spouse of a KISD employee for the last 27 years, um, a alumni of KISD myself. I have a pretty good feeling for the day-to-day impacts and effects that policy that the board makes has on KISD operations. As a retired Army National Guard colonel and as the HR director for the Texas National Guard, I have the strategic planning experience, construction oversight experience, and policymaking experience at the local, state, and national level that's required of the board. I believe the superintendent works for the school board and that the school board works for the people. There's a reason why the position is called a trustee. We are to act in trust of the public's wishes, and I think I'm fully qualified for that, and I would hope that the voters of KISD would elect me as the most qualified. So my top three issues are improvement in student achievement, improvement in employee compensation, and then transparent stewardship in regards to improving student achievement. Last month, the board received a brief on the rankings for the school's performance. We got a C from TEA. Even though our special ed department got the second highest rating, it was still needs assistance. Our test scores consistently lag behind not only our comparable local districts, but also our state comparables and the state average. This despite the fact that we're spending 3% more on instruction, that's programs and teacher salaries, than the state average. Okay might be good for Pepsi, but it's not okay for our students. I think we can do better. So we need to be looking at metrics when we decide to take out a program, not feelings or dollar amounts. We need to see whether or not programs are actually working. Our mobility factor that we have in our district makes it difficult to track, but it's worth the effort. So that's how I would go about trying to improve student achievement. Employee compensation. When I talk about employee compensation, I'm talking about all of our employees, not just teachers. What the legislature has done is a good start, especially considering it looks like they're going to actually send money with the bills to help pay for it, but we still have to wait to see what happens there. But it's interesting to note that even though we spend 3% more on instruction, we have a very large vacancy rate. We have short 57 bus drivers, and we also have 47% of our teachers with less than 5 years of experience. That's 10% higher, or 10 percentage points higher than the state average of 37%. High vacancy rate and high turnover are two indicators that you might have an unhappy workforce, and an unhappy workforce votes with their feet. Employee compensation is a way to combat that. And when I talk about employee compensation, it's not just teachers. I'm talking about your bus drivers, your custodial staff, your kitchen staff, your instructional aides. They all have an impact on our students. Our bus drivers are the first people that most of our students meet. The cafeteria workers, in some instances, is the first or second person. Anything that goes wrong there could set a student back for the day. We have to make sure that we continue to attract great people, and we don't need to beat out our local competitors by just a little bit. We should crush them. We should make Killeen the premier place to come and be an educator. So I think the district has started a great way. There's actually a bond site that you can go to check on the status of the bond. It's not highly publicized, but I think we need to develop that even more. We need a dashboard that's easily accessible to the public. I think we also need to make the board more accessible. Right now, the only interaction that the public has with the board is 3 minutes at their meeting. It's pretty intimidating to watch the clock count down your time, um, and it doesn't allow for a lot of interaction. I think we should have more public forums. I think we should probably maybe have a quarterly meeting where Dr. Kraft and the staff can help explain the progress, and that board members can be present to listen to the public and then to provide feedback to the public on their questions.